Hi, my name is Robert. This video is designed to give you step-by-step detailed instructions on completing the task at hand. Please read the comments in the About section of this video. It has valuable information and updates. My YouTube channel has a disclaimer video that I encourage you to watch. And please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you found what you're looking for. Thank you very much for watching. In this video, I'm going to be removing the valve cover from the U.S. passenger side of this Maserati 4.2 liter Ferrari engine. We are going to be taking the cam holder and sending it to a machine shop to be modified machine to prevent oil starvation at startups. This vehicle started chattering a little bit on startup. That's the cure. You can also do this to remove the oil pressure sensor, which is right there, or any other reason you need to get in here and work on this engine. So this is the valve cover removal for the right side of the engine. Please leave some kind of comment if you've watched this video or part of the video. If you have one of these vehicles, if you thought the video was helpful, not helpful, whatever, just leave a comment if you would. Thank you very much. First thing I'm going to do is take this cover off to see what's in there. Just making sure I'm not going to damage anything. Then I'm going to take that 10 millimeter off, and just try to move it, work it out of the way. Look like it's got a big harness going in there, so I don't think I'm going to be able to actually remove it. These rear two were not attached, but the front two are. I think I might have actually latched them instead of unlatching them. So let me try this again. Oh, there we go. Wow. Fuse box and relays and stuff like that. I'm not going to move that far, so I'm just going to try to scoot it out of the way a little bit. Alright, after you do those two 10s, you can leave the cover on actually. Lift this up and 3 10 millimeter screws there. Then we'll have decent access to this valve cover. Alright, I unclip this oil pressure sensor. I unclip this line here because I'm going to pull this hose off of that intake plume. I unclip this fuel line back here. I undid this crossover tube, pulled it off there, took it off the crossover there. So now I have a little bit of play for me to lift this up out of here. Taking these connectors loose from the coils. Slide the yellow things up and then squeeze down on the coil and unplug them. So unplug all 4 coils. Still under the fuse box, we got a hose here, and that lays kind of across the valve cover. My guess is this is the heater control valve, because when I took this clamp loose, pulled this hose off, it started leaking coolant. So I'm going to try to get this cover off, leaving this hose on here. So I pushed it back on there, hadn't clamped it back yet. Next, I'm going to disconnect the rest of these coils and pull the coil up and out of the valve cover. All 4 of them on this side. These coils just come up out of the valve cover. They're in there pretty tight, and as you can see, they're keyed with the coil. So you just wiggle them and pull on them and they pop out. Next, I'm taking all of these, I'm using a T30 to get them out, but they're probably like a hex 4 or 5. I got 3 there, 1, 2, 3. These 2 up here is holding this valve, and then it's got a bracket down there. Like I said, not 100% sure what that's for, but it's got a line coming in the bottom and a line coming in the top, but I'm going to need to get that and wiggle it out of the way to get the valve cover off. It's got a hose clamp there. Might end up taking that off, clamping down that wire harness. Got screw there, nut on a clamp there, screw there, screw there. Gotta go all the way back and around. When I get them all out, I'll lay them out in a pattern so that you can see how they go in. And it may be good to keep them with that kind of pattern thing attached to them so you can put them back in the proper holes that you removed them from. So here are the tools I used. I used that universal with my T30 to get a couple of the ones down here along this dipstick. Then I just use this with my Milwaukee to hit a couple in the back. Then I use this to get to this one right here, because you have no clearance. Put a little cheater on there, like I slid the end of the 10 millimeter on there as a cheater, giving me some leverage to twist it. Then I use this to get the couple way back there. And I also had to pull out that cam sensor. The cam sensor is hooked up on the wire harness. You can see it laying back there. So I unplugged the fuel injectors. Everything should be loose. I hope to have enough room to get this cam cover off. I didn't see the bolt securing this oil dipstick, so I'm gonna leave that there. And let's see if I could get this cover to come up off of here. Oh, yep, it broke loose. You see it broke loose? Now, you got a clamp here in the valve cover, and that's a shallow clamp. So I pulled that bolt out of that clamp, tried to turn it, put it back in. It rolled down the engine and into the engine pan. So I'll catch that later. But I did put the other one back. Since those are short bolts, you store them back where they belong. This is where I stored the other bolts. This bolt here, of course, was the one that went down here in the front. 3 across the front, 2 on the hump. The rest of them going back. So I do need to get that spacer out for those 2 here. These 2 have these spacers on there. I need to pull those out, put those on there. But they should come out with the cover. So I'm gonna have to put this down, and hopefully I got enough room to maneuver this up and out of here. That's the hardest thing to get past right there. I pushed that over to the side. All right, I slid this emission tube off of that. It just slid right off. I bent the dipstick back to almost touching this bracket. I was able to get the cover up over the sensor. Now let me see if I can actually get it out, and I'll let you know. If not, I might have to bend this dipstick tube back to here instead of here. So let's see how that works. Had to take my 8 millimeter, loosen this bracket right here so I could get that out of the way as I try to maneuver this valve cover up and under this octopus. I was able to massage the cover out from under there. You can see the cam sensor there. I'm going to take that oil pressure sensor out. Here, 1 bolt. Then I'm going to take these 2 out and maneuver this chain tensioner out of there, the chain guide. And then I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4 more out to get that cam holder out. Then we'll ship these things off to the machine shop. We'll put the machine shop information in the comments below so that you can contact him and arrange having your cam caps machined if they have not already been done. This side had a lot more oil up here, it seemed like. Anyway, we got the guide off. We got the sensor off. I was trying to massage the sensor out of the cap, and because all the screws were out of the cap, the whole thing came out together. Then the sensor was poking out of the bottom of this, so I just tapped it out because we have new sensors. These sensors may be good. You're welcome to buy them if you need them. Next to nothing, but I'm going to put in the comments where the sensors that we purchased came from out of Europe. if you want to save money, if you want to support your local Maserati dealership or whatever semi-local one you have, you can order that stuff from them. That's it for now. I will remix this video or do another part 3 to the video to show you how these look returned from the machine shop and how I went about getting this stuff back together, in case you can't back out of the video. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.